What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I decided to profile my Altergeist deck profile. And essentially, the reason why I'm doing this is I posted a video not too long ago, a few days ago, maybe now, I don't know, of some packs, some Soul Fusion packs that I won at locals. Just I was playing this deck, and then when we win at locals, you top at locals, you get some at my locals at least. The one that I'm in right now, you top and you get packs. So essentially, I went X1 in 4 rounds, and I only lost in the finals to Thunder Dragon, and I only lost again. I lost in three, like in game three, and I lost to my own misplay. Essentially, before I get into the profile, I'll just explain to you guys like how I lost and what happened and how this deck should have gone XO. And I'm telling you guys, this deck is amazing, especially for locals play. I guess you could switch it up a little bit for competitive if you go to a YCS, whatever the situation is. But for locals play, where you see a bunch of random stuff going on, I think this build is like amazing. It's the best for, I guess you could say, casual, but it is competitive. I'm not taking away competitive its competitiveness, but definitely for locals, you can easily go XO on locals every week with this deck. Essentially, so what happened was my opponent declared battle, but I took it as he was going into battle phase. So essentially, I tried to spoofing my. I had a multi-faker in hand, and I tried to spoofing my multi-faker in hand to get a Conqueree because I had a Silkwoodus on board. So I wanted to get the Conqueree out, and then when he went to battle, or Conqueree to my hand, and then when he went to battle, I would have summoned Conqueree, and then Silkwoodus would have bounced Conqueree to get bounces and stuff. So it would have essentially stopped his battle, negated like an effect, I guess, for a second, just whatever, and then got her bounced at the end phase or got her bounced eventually. But what had happened was, after some like debate, was apparently because people were watching, and apparently he declared battle with the monster. He summoned BLS, so it was actually BLS I was attacking. And so apparently he declared the attack with BLS, which I guess like you could say is a misplay, but I didn't really misplay per se because I knew the right play to do, but it was just unlucky because I didn't hear, or like maybe I just misunderstood when he meant, because he went straight from main phase, summoned BLS and summoned a Colossus, I think, and then went to battle, right? So I assumed when he said declare battle, I thought he went to the battle phase. But again, my misplay, my bad, whatever. Otherwise, it would have gone XO, and I'm just letting you guys know that this deck profile is really, really solid. And we'll just get right into it. Pretty much standard for the multi-faker lineup. You're playing, or for the Altergeist lineup, playing triple multi-faker, triple Milaseek, triple Marionetter, double Silkwoodus, and one Conqueree. Conqueree is my favorite card in the deck. Like it's so funny how much this card just wins you games, and then once you get Conqueree Silkwoodus on board, like it's so hard for your opponent to just get over it and beat over it, because like especially 2400 booty plus a bounce, and it's really hard. So this is actually really, really good. The best lineup I think is right here. Like I don't think this should be changed. A little bit about the cards, you guys probably know already about them, but where they're good and where they're bad. Milaseek is insta win against Thunder Dragon, essentially. I opened this game 1 and game 3, which is why I won game 1. Oh, sorry, that's a lie. I opened this game 2 and game 3. Game 1, I just got spanked because, because you want to spank that like button for Spanko. But no, game 1, it was bad because I didn't open any monsters. I opened all traps, but all traps that didn't really do anything against Sun Dragon. And then he just normal Denko, and I'm just like, okay, well, I lose here. Game 2, I opened this, beat him. Game 3, opened this, should have beat him, messed up. Fuck, my bad. But whatever. Milaseek is insta win against Thunder Dragon. It gets over a bunch of other stuff as well, floodgates as well. The only, I guess, floodgate it doesn't get over is it's like skill drain. Otherwise, really, really good. Marionetter is so essential in the deck. Like I hate not seeing this card because eventually, you're gonna start running out of traps, or you're not gonna have the traps in your hand, and you need to get to your traps as fast as possible. And then multi-faker, of course, is just multi-faker, and it's just an amazing card in its own. And then I'll just like show off the rest of the monsters. I played triple Ash. I think Ash is necessary in this deck. I think Ash is necessary in most decks, to be honest with you. Double Ghost Ogre and double Veiler. I don't like Veiler. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I just can't afford impermanences. If I had impermanences, like I would be playing impermanence over this. Otherwise, I don't think I would move the deck list whatsoever. The only thing I would change is the impermanence for Effect Veiler, because you don't understand how many times I opened the Effect Veiler and Multi-Faker. I'm like, wow, imagine this was impermanence Effect Multi-Faker. Like that would be so much better. So yeah, definitely change Effect Veiler if you do have impermanence. Definitely change the Effect Veiler into impermanences because they're just amazing in this deck. In other decks, I guess it doesn't matter. Like if Effect Veiler does its job in other decks, but in Altergeist specifically, impermanence is just so much better. But Other than that, I like 5 hand traps. A lot of people like opt to 3, and I see a lot of people play 3 where they only play 3 Ash, or they'll sometimes I've seen people play 2 Ash, 1 Ghost Ogre. It's just kind of weird. But no, 5 hand traps in my opinion, and I guess you could say 7 with the impermanences is optimal. Otherwise, these did put in work for me, and they were actually pretty good. And that's it for the monsters, guys. So for spells, I only ran 5 spells. I ran 2 desires. I wanted to run shared ride. But I didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but like I kind of regret not running it. Then I ran 3 secret village of the spellcasters. So yeah. So like I said, I only ran 5 spells. Mostly because this deck has a lot of spell negation, aka like secret village. I guess you can still use spells under secret village, but Imperial Order and whatnot. The reason I didn't want to play the shared rides is solely due to the fact that I don't have impermanences. And had I had the impermanences instead of Veilers, I would have maybe cut a couple traps down, just 2 traps to play 2 shared ride in the main. Otherwise, I would have definitely played shared ride. There's nothing wrong with that card. That card's amazing in my opinion right now, and it's really good in a deck like this. It just sucks when if I have to sacrifice traps for more spells when I don't have like the impermanences, which kind of sucks, you know what I mean? So that's the reason. I hope you guys understand that reasoning. So essentially, if you can put, I'll just help you guys out right now if you guys want to end up like building something like this. If you guys take these 2 out and play 2 impermanents as traps, and then you can take out 2 traps, which I'll explain later. You can take out 2 traps to play the two what's it called, shared ride, which would have been really good. And then onto traps, I guess, since we only play 5 spells. Onto traps, you're playing 3 spoofing, and my favorite definitely out of the, like, obviously the best. If this had Altergeist in its name, I think the card would be too broken, which is why it doesn't have Altergeist in my opinion. 2 manifestation and 2 protocol. I can't play 1 manifestation. I tried it. I tried 3, 2, 1, but I can't. Like, manifestation at 2 is just too good. Plus with Potted Desires, I open Potted Desires a lot, which surprisingly, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, every time I opened it, except for I think once, it got ashed, but I still ended up winning the game. So the thing is, it's like one of those things where it's a really good card because it baits out hand traps, and then you can go off. And that's why you need 2 and 2, because you don't want to banish your 1 manifestation and then you kind of just like, well, you know, you lose a lot of plays in the deck and you lose a lot of power in the deck. So 2 and 2 I think is the best. And then I'm playing double metaverse. This is your pseudo terraforming for Secret Village, and the reason you do this is because obviously it triggers multi-faker, and I didn't play it actually at all before. I just played 3 Secret Village, and I'm like, all right, if I hard draw it, I hard draw it. If I don't, I don't. But then I realized Metaverse is just amazing. If you can just resolve Metaverse or Secret Village against a Thunder Dragon player or a Sky Striker player, you just auto win. I personally think this deck has a really bad Sky Striker matchup. I've been told it doesn't. I've been told it has a good matchup, but maybe I just hate that deck or whatever. So I just try to, like, main deck is basically Sky Striker hate, so I do not lose to Sky Striker. Then I'm obviously playing Triple Strike. Warning, I made a stupid mistake in my last Altergeist video. I said that you can't resolve Multi-Faker off these traps, which I shouldn't have said, because I don't know why I said that, or if I said that by accident, but yeah, you definitely can. 1 order, double Heavy Storm Duster and double Rivalry of Warlords. So Rivalry is one of those cards where it was really good at locals, but in a meta standpoint, or from a meta standpoint, I don't think you want to play it, only because like, going second, it's not amazing. Like, it's okay against Go keyboards, but a lot of decks in the meta right now, like, don't really care about it. If you go second against Sky Striker, for example, like, this is just, who cares? They don't care. If you go second against Thunder Dragon, even if you go first against Thunder Dragon, Rivalry is useless. So remember how I said if you put the 2 impermanences, you guys, if you take out the 2 Veilers to put the 2 impermanents, you can put in the 2 shared rides. What I would do is actually I would take out the Rivalry of the Warlords. By the way, this is 42 card deck, not a 40 card deck. It's a 42 card deck, and the reason it's also 42 is because I hate the Pot of Desires, like banish 10. Like, I think it's a neg 9. I don't think it's a good card. I think it's a neg 9. But you know, or you could take out the Heavy Storm Dusters. Heavy Storm Dusters is actually more like, it's actually like cooler than you think. If you can sometimes activate your Heavy Storm Duster in really bad situations and pop your own card, like let's say a Secret Village. There's actually one matchup, I think I was playing Mech Knight Invoked, and I was going second, and I set the Storm Duster, and I had the Multi-Faker in hand, and so I activated Secret Village, but at this point he already had his combos or everything going off, so I activated Secret Village, and whatever. On his turn, I Heavy Storm Dusted my Secret Village and his field spell, and then got the Multi-Faker out with like a Silkwitous, and then it disrupted him. I ended up winning that game. So this is actually kind of cool where you can pop your own stuff to get it off. But yeah, you can take out the heavy storm dusters in my opinion, or the rivalries, one or the other, for 2 shared rides, and that's honestly the best way to play the deck in my opinion. Like it's so clean and it does the job, and even when it bricks, it's good enough to get you out of a lot of situations. So I'm gonna show you guys the extra deck as well as the side deck. I'm gonna go into, let's just go into the side deck first. This side deck was made for locals. I think you can make it better for like competitive play, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just go into it. So 3 cherries. This is because I did not want to play against FTK whatsoever. I play cherries targets in the main. I do play Firewall. I do play Summon Sork, because you don't really need the extra deck. I'll show you guys the extra deck and it'll make sense. But cherry is just amazing. You side this in, and I side in the 3rd ogre. And the reason for this is like going second against like the FTK or stuff. Like you need hand traps to stop them, or else you just get FTK'd. So that's why I personally put these in. I put in 3 Inspector Border. I'm going to be honest with you, in the future, I'm probably going to take them out. Inspect Border is like one of those cards that's really good in the mirror match. But the problem with it is, at my local specifically at least, there's no really mirror match. Really good in the mirror match. Really good in trick against the Trickstar matchup. It's just a good card. Theoretically, it's actually even really good against like Thunder Dragon. Of course, not like the best against Thunder Dragon, but it, like, you know, in theory, it's actually not bad. Like Inspect Border is a good card. I think you can take it out. Double Lancia, I want to up this to 3. Like in the Thunder Dragon matchup, I did see this one time in one of the games, and this card is just so amazing. Like I don't know why people are like sleeping on this card. Dimension Barrier is also in the side deck. I'll show you that. But this card is just freaking amazing, going first and or second. Thing is, like, going like first, like you don't mind having this really in your hand, but obviously going second, like this is freaking amazing, because you can just like, you would want to shotgun this in the standby phase, to be honest with you. And then once you shotgun this, they just kind of like, like I can't play, like, you know what I mean? Like the best they can do is summon like a solar, or and then like, you know, maybe dump something. They'll probably get nothing, or they'll dump something and then they can't really do much. So Lancia is just a really freaking good card. In my game, I Lancia'd my opponent and then he just kind of like passed because he couldn't really do anything. So like this card's amazing. I might bump this up to 3. If I do end up taking the borders out, I might probably bump this up to 3 for sure. And then the other 2 cards I will show you. I play double Mind Control, bump this to 3. This card I sided in every matchup going second. Every matchup going second, Mind Control, like there's nothing bad about this card. It's just one of those cards where literally it's like, okay, I can take my opponent's monster for free. It's, I think, one of the most talked about but undervalued side deck cards in today's metagame, because literally just taking your opponent's monster and being able to use it for linking material is just amazing. And then I played double Dimensional Barrier, very good card going first, good against Thunder Dragon, obviously, and like it's just kind of like auto win, like, oh, you can't play. So obviously going first, when you side this in with, and let's say you open this and a multi-figure, like you're in such a good position there. At that point, you just kind of win the game. So yeah, if I do take out these, I'll probably put in a 3rd Barrier, 3rd Lancia, and then maybe a 3rd Mind Control, honestly. And that's how I'm going to do it, because Mind Control going second is just amazing. And then double Red Reboot, again, theoretically in the mirror match, it's really, really good. No mirror, like I don't see a lot of people playing it, so I might switch it out. It didn't side it in, but if you guys are thinking of a competitive standpoint, I think this is a really good side deck for a competitive standpoint, because you're getting everything. You're stopping every deck in the meta right now, and your main deck basically stops Sky Striker. So that's why you don't really need to side for Sky Striker. The only card I usually side against Sky Striker is like if I'm going second, or yeah, like I'll side in the Mind Controls, and that's because I play Kagari as a cherries target and a Hayate, so you can like take their Kagari, and then like if you're going second, like you can take their Kagari, make it into your own Hayate, and then if they're going first, you can cherries their Kagari. So that's basically it. Like you don't really need to side much against the Sky Striker matchup, but that's it for the side deck. Of course, it's up to personal preference, and you can switch it up for your own locals, but this I find to be a very good side deck. So for the extra deck, I'll show you guys basically what I play. First of all, you got to play tokens, because Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2018 means tokens, and I have cool Pokemon tokens. Anyways, yeah, for the extra deck, I'm playing like a bunch of standard cards. 1 Boral Load, 1 Boral Sword. Like I never make these, but theoretically you can. If in a situation you see your opponent flip Scapegoat and you randomly have a cherries in hand, you can just cherries a Boral Sword and don't lose. Firewall Dragon, cherries target, you never make it really. Unicorn, so like the thing is, you never really make this, never really make Trisbania either. This you make once in a while actually, because it's a spellcaster and it's really good with Secret Village. And I guess sometimes if your opponent has something pointing down or like into your zone, you can make this bounce. It gets a bounce and you get the spellcaster. So it's really, really good. You never make these two. Theoretically, you can make a unicorn, or you can cherries unicorn. Let's say you open multiple cherries. I know cherries is once per turn before you guys start spamming the comments. But It's just one of those cards where it's like, oh, later on you can just cherries a unicorn, Tisbania. Like I don't know. It's just like utility, right? It's you never really make them, but utility. Summon Sork as well as a cherries target. The only cards you really go into are Hextia. You make this and it's just so much like it's a very good card essentially. One unicorn or one phoenix, sorry. And Phoenix actually go into once in a while, pop back row, pop any cards that I just want to get rid of. Sometimes I've had situations where you can make like the Link Rebo with your Miloseek and then make Phoenix under it. And if that actually does end up happening, then that's actually really, really good because you'll get a pop and a draw. So like, I don't know, it's just a cool like little thing that you can do. Clara, in theory, you're supposed to make it. I don't really make it very often. I don't like that the fact that it gives you your opponent an arrow, but in theory, like it's okay. And then I play one Kagari, one Hayate. Again, like I explained earlier, Kagari, cherries target. And I guess if you open multiple cherries, you can cherries Hayate as well. But then if you're going second, you can steal your opponent's like Shizuku and or Kagari because they usually end with a Shizuku. And then you can just monster or mind control it, make it into your own Kagari or make it into a Hayate, which opens up a zone for you, which is really, really good. That's it for the extra deck. It should be 15 cards. Again, like you don't really need most of this. If you want to side Waking the Dragons, which I did in the past, but I decided not to anymore. I don't think it's like the best card or the best like card to side because people just kind of expect it in Altergeist, and I've never got it off. So basically, 15 card extra deck, you make like 5, like I would say 4 or 5. That's really like it for the deck profile. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to build the channel up. So thank you guys for viewing and watching my videos. And with that, guys, Spanko signing out. Peace.